Hey everybody, and welcome to Weeaboo Wednesday. Today there's a lot of news, and I actually waited to get some stuff in the mail just so that I could try to make a better video, so hopefully it going up late doesn't hurt too much. Now last time I had you guys vote on which figure we would review next, and I think I'd like to do that again. For you Kerodogunso fans, I have a model kit of a Robo Kerodogunso. So yeah, if you guys like this, I could build this and we could review that. It's called Kerorobo Mark II. And the other choice is going to be the SH Figure Arts of Mewtwo. I'm a huge Mewtwo fan, and I do want to get into this because that box is so sleek. But yeah, what do you guys think? What would you like to see? Comment below. But with that out of the way, let's get into some news. We got a new Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town trailer. It has the charm and the style of the original Friends of Mineral Town, but of course with updated graphics, and it all looks really cute, very whimsical and fun, and very colorful and nice. It really does remind me of the game I fell in love with so many years ago on the Game Boy Advance, so I'm pretty happy to see it. Plus, there's a capybara in it, so how could you not want that? Another thing was at the end of the commercial they showed a plush cow. And if you're not aware, originally the Harvest Moon games would typically always come with a plush stuffed animal, be it a cow, a chicken, a dog, characters from the game, all the animals you can get in the game. Each game would typically have a pre-order bonus of one of these dolls, and they wound up going for insane prices on eBay, and I used to have a ton of them. I loved these things, so I want that cow. So you know how sometimes fans of a certain series may go to the copyright listings and find that Nintendo registered a new copyright or trademark for some kind of game or name of something, and therefore they find details in a way of upcoming projects. Well, something similar happened where in Australia, people noticed that there are listings for Steins Gate. Yeah, it's Steins Gate, My Darling's Embrace, which is actually hearkening to another Steins Gate game which was considered a fan disc, of which it was sort of like a weird side story, almost more romantic and dating sim rather than the crazy, depressing story that Steins Gate actually is. But either way, I'm interested. This is going to be the first English release of it, presumably, if it does, of course, come out. And yeah, I'm always happy to see more Steins Gate. The original version of this fan disc came out back in 2011, and it's gotten re-releases on multiple consoles, so it's been a really long time, but I guess they see that Steins Gate does make money, so here we go. There is going to be a Girls und Panzer Roomba. Yes, a Roomba, like the vacuum that robotically figures out where to go in your house and cleans it while you're away, or maybe even while you're there. Or maybe you just let your cat ride the thing. Yes, there's going to be an anime-themed Roomba. The Roomba will be styled like Miho Nishizumi's Panzer IV tank. It's going to have 45 different voice recordings from the character's voice actress, and they're going to be programmed into the vacuum itself, so it'll go around cleaning your house and saying stuff in her voice. There's going to be a certain amount of pre-orders that they're allowing to come through, so once it hits a certain threshold, they're going to shut it off and nobody else will be able to get it. But this thing's like $470, so I mean, that's still a fair price for a Roomba, but I don't know if I need an anime Roomba. After some delays, Caravan Stories is going to be getting its release as of September 10th in the United States. That's next Tuesday, which is awesome because originally it was set for July 23rd, but due to some delays, they wound up having to push it back. But this date's so close that I really don't think they could go ahead and push it back again without serious backlash. Oh man, Yakuza 7 was recently revealed and announced, and there has been a bit of buzz among the fan community because they completely came from left field when they decided to say that this game is going to be a turn-based RPG rather than the typical beat-em-up style that the game normally is. There have been lots of cast reveals, and of course there's a new protagonist as well, and his name is Ichiban Kasuga, which is pretty hilarious considering Ichiban is part of his name. But yeah, if you're into this series, then be aware that this is going to be a very different style of game. But in addition, there's going to be remasters of the original Yakuza's 3, 4, and 5, I believe, as well, coming out. Actually, right now, 3 has already been released, so keep your eyes out. Eiga Crayon Shinchan Geki Totsu. Rakuga Kingdom Tohobo Yonin no Yusha, which translates to Crayon Shinchan, the movie Crash, Rakuga Kingdom, and Almost 4 Heroes. This, of course, is the title of the new Crayon Shinchan movie, which is the 28th movie in the series. It's going to be coming out in the Golden Week of 2020 spring in Japan, so keep your eyes open, and of course it's going to be great. It's Shinchan. Hatsune Miku Project Diva Megamix is getting a release in the United States in the year 2020. Sega recently released a new trailer, of course promoting that the English game would be coming out in 2020, and of course that excites me because I have followed this series back since PSP. Now, this version marks the 10th anniversary of the Project Diva series, which is amazing to think that's been going for 10 years. I've played so many of these games and I'm excited to play this new one, which will be on the Switch and will actually have multiple playstyles. Of course, the original button press playstyle is there, but there's going to be one where you can take the Joy-Cons and use the motion controls and somehow influence gameplay that way. This is going to be a huge game with all kinds of costumes and songs from all the different games, spanning amazingly long timeline here, which I think is going to make for an awesome Project Diva game. So make sure you keep your eyes open and your money in your wallet so that you can buy this amazing game when it finally comes out. Uzumaki is a manga that I pick up very often when I go to look at manga at a bookstore. It's just got a very interesting cover. And of course, it's by Junji Ito, who is a master of horror and just really weird, gross looking imagery. There's going to be a mini-series of Uzumaki, which will be 4 episodes long. It's going to be a mini-series, and evidently it's coming to the United States before it comes to Japan. It's going to get a run on Toonami in 2020, and that's really weird to me that we're gonna get it before Japan will get it. But of course, I hope it isn't any worse than the Junji Ito collection, which was a huge letdown to many, of which I agree. But that's its own story for another time. I spoke about Jurassic not long ago, and it's finally out. It's only a minute long, but it's certainly worth watching. This is one of the new animations done by Toei, which is being done by the younger crew. It's really awesome, super colorful, and it just reminds me of how great dinosaurs were when I was a kid. It's super fantastical and definitely worth a watch. I'm going to put the link in the description so that you guys go check it out because it deserves to be watched. They put a lot of hard work into this. Additionally, there's going to be a Pokemon anime that's completely new, and it's going to be called Pocket Monsters, which is named after the original Pokemon anime from many years ago in Japan. Now, there's not much detail about it. We have some video that really just shows a bunch of pictures of Pokemon, but evidently this is going to span across all the different regions of the Pokemon games and the Pokemon universe, rather. What could it be about? Who knows, but evidently there's going to be some more details released on the coming episode of Sun and Moon in the end of September, so we'll see when we get that information what this thing's going to be about. I hope that there's more Metamon in it. The Animelo Summer Live event was recently rocked by the sudden, unexpected performance by Kago Tea Time. If you're unaware, Kago Tea Time is the band from Crayon. They're the band that plays the music in the show and also are the voice actresses for the characters. They came out and they interacted with one another in character and then proceeded to play Go Go Maniac. After that, they did a little bit more interaction with one another in character and they left. This makes me really happy because it reminds me of how recently the original group came out and did the Hara Hara Yukai at another event. It's great to see these old music acts coming back in anime, which really just harkens back to a simpler time. It's been since 2011 since they last got together and performed live, so this is a huge deal and it wasn't on the docket originally, so the people that were there just got an awesome surprise from this. But of course, Mugi is best girl, so, you know. Sanrio is delving into the world of comedy of all things. Warahibi is this project that they're doing, which is 6 comedy duos that are all getting together and performing, and they're all anime boys. Rather adorable anime boys, actually, which is the main thing that's attracting me to the series. The character design is really interesting, and they're all very diverse types of characters. You have your muscle-bound guys, you have your super adorable fashion boy. There's so much there, but there's all these duos, and they perform in these little YouTube videos to give everybody a taste of what they're like. I absolutely love the style of the art, and honestly, I can only imagine that the stuff there is pretty funny because Sanrio typically releases pretty good quality content, so I'm sure they wouldn't let anything get through that was crappy. I really need to find translations for this because it seems like it's something that they're really going to push forward. There's even going to be a poll where people can vote for the best duo, and then that duo will present a reward to the people who go to some sort of Animate live event. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Animate, but it's this huge building in Japan where there's all kinds of character goods, and they have some sort of big live event as well where people come together like a convention. But either way, I do really want to see this, and I want to understand what they're saying because I'm sure there's probably some funny stuff in there. I feel like it's every other day that I hear about a legend from back in the day getting taken down for some sort of piracy or something like that, and this week's no different. Recently, I didn't talk about it, but Manga Rock, which is a huge manga website that hosts scans and stuff like that, was taken down. And there's a lot of litigation flying back and forth, and it would seem that now Manga Rock is under the fire of this litigation. Of course, they are probably in the wrong because they've been uploading for years scans of manga that then get translated, which is where scanlation comes from. This was a very popular way back in the day for people to view manga, especially because the channels were so limited in the United States where we weren't getting a lot of stuff that was coming out week to week even in Japan. Now, of course, manga production has changed so much, but it's just crazy to think that even still, we don't get a percentage of what comes out weekly in Japan. Manga that you love are probably 10, 20 volumes ahead right now in Japan, and you'll probably never see the end of them because of the way how slowly these publishers make stuff. But still, the people who are behind Manga Rock essentially bowed out and said, yeah, you know what we've been doing is wrong. We started this back in college, and we didn't know anything about the industry. Only now do we realize that we've been taking money from very talented people who put a lot of hard work into this business. It stinks, but I guess they're technically telling the truth. Scanlations do hurt the original mangaka. Now, of course, companies buy these rights and completely rob these people and reproduce and make tons of money off of production in the United States and in Japan as well, I'm sure. But you know, it still sucks to see another legend beginning to fall. Now, of course, this is only made messier by the fact that Manga Rock had a subscription service where you could pay for a subscription on an application, and of course, this would make it a little bit easier for you to view manga on your iPhone or iPad or something like that. I remember back in the day having Manga Rock as one of the providers on my iPad for some manga viewing app, but who knew the litigation and all of the responsibilities that came from these things? It's a shame to see, but Manga Rock, you did God's work. Now, we just wait to see the other titans fall. There's been a new Demon Ex Machina trailer revealed online. The game is coming out rather soon, September 13th if I'm not mistaken, and they've shown some more footage of the game itself. I really want this game to be good. I'm super into the style, the mechs, the anime, it's all just screaming weeaboo at me, and I wanna like it, but that demo was a little weird and it just looks kind of messy, and I'm really praying that they fixed some of the problems, because if not, I did just buy Astral Chain and that's a jam. I know I keep talking about movies, but this has to be talked about. Weathering With You is still at #1 in Japan. They're crushing it, and Ni no Kuni has dropped all the way down to 10th place, which is abysmal. The One Piece movie remained at #4, and the newly released Konosuba movie opened at #8. Not bad. Good luck dethroning Makoto Shinkai because he is absolutely dominating the box office. This one's a little weird. Go Astroboy Go is a new anime coming out in Japan. There's going to be 52 11 to 13-minute episodes, depends on who you talk to. There's been a couple different listings saying different times. And yeah, 52 episodes is pretty long, and evidently this is going to air in a time slot which is aimed at preschool children. The characters look super cute, and of course this is being made in Japan, so if they have a little bit more creative license with something like Astroboy, I would trust them with it more than I would an American studio. But let's not forget the last time a classic series that people really loved got turned into a cuter version with Go in the name. Promare, after being out in Japan for 100 days, has finally topped the 1 billion yen mark. For comparison, that's a little over $10 million in US burgers, but that's awesome. They're doing great with this movie. Now, to celebrate, one of the animation leads decided to illustrate a cute little postcard, which is being given out to people who go to see the movie now. So if you're in Japan, go pick up one of those dope postcards and send it to me and write Weeaboo Wednesdays, that's my jam on the back. This is gonna be our last story because I know I'm going on really long, but I have to talk about this because it's the Pillow's 30th anniversary, and they're an amazing band. I love them, and I've always loved them, and I'm sure many of you anime fans do as well. Over at the Shibuya Tower Records, there is an anniversary event exhibit going on. It looks like an American diner, and it's really cute because they have a huge version of their mascot featured in one area. It's like a big doll. Additionally, every one of their shirts is hanging from the ceiling. There's tons of tour posters littering the walls, their whole discography is in a case, even props from some of their videos, and even a replication of the one set for one of their music videos is in the middle of this whole thing. If you've ever seen the Funny Bunny music video, you'll recognize this. That deer looks dope. Is that deer from Nada? There's also some of the band's instruments on display, and finally there's a wall where there's tons of post-it notes covering the walls. Now, fans can go over and put their own post-it on the wall and write their own message to the band. There's messages in Japanese and even in English, which are all encouraging the band to keep being amazing, and of course, many other things. And all this is only 500 yen. This is an amazing way to celebrate one of the most legendary anime bands ever. I don't think it's overstating it to say that the Pillows are literally like one of the very best bands to do music for anime. They're loved by many, they've been going forever, and they don't seem to be stopping, but who knows? Tomorrow they could decide to retire. Either way, thank you for 30 years, and please come back to the United States because I would love to see you guys again. They've truly touched so many fans with their music, especially just in Fully Cooley alone. That music, I can hear it now and it just brings me to tears anytime. So much of that music is tied to a very vulnerable period of my life as an adolescent, so, you know, there's always going to be a soft place in my heart for them. But now that all the news is out of the way, I have one thing to show you before we go. Remember when I said I had one thing to show you? I lied. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the Godzilla King of the Monsters NECA Godzilla figure. This is like a special edition one where he is super powered up. He has a hinged jaw and a blast accessory, and he has over 25 points of articulation. This is like the nuclear blast version of Godzilla. This will get reviewed eventually. And in addition to Godzilla being the King of the Monsters and being in this figure form, I also got the Steelbook of King of the Monsters. This was a Best Buy exclusive. It's super nice looking, and I got 3 of them. Go ahead, hate on me. But finally, this is what I wanted to show you. Let's give it a good hit, boys.
That'll do it, Grandpa. Yeah?
And this is exciting because this is Full Body Girl. Yeah, this is dope. I'm excited for this Catherine Full Body limited edition, the Heart's Desire Premium Edition. If you want to be fancy about it and say the full title, this thing is dope. And if you take a look at the back, you can see that there's a trap in the middle, Best Girl on this side, and this skank on the other side. There's lots of cool goodies in here, and I will be opening this on the channel. So stay tuned, boys and girls, because it's coming. But with all that, I thank you so much for enduring this incredibly long video. I love you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please go ahead and hit the like button down below. Tell me what's your most interesting story that you heard here today. Go ahead and comment that below, or you could even vote like I asked you to in the beginning of the video. If you haven't yet subscribed, what are you doing with your meaningless existence? Please hit that subscribe button, or I will never look in your way again. Finally, if you want to watch another video, I'm going to link something right up here, and you should click it even if you've seen it because it helps me and it helps the channel. There's so much exciting news I have to reveal to you guys in the coming weeks, but please stay tuned for more videos. I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing Weeaboo Wednesday. Out!